Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. What's good? What's good? What's good? There's a lot to talk about. We've got China's retaliatory tariffs kicking in. That's interesting, right? Tariffs are a negotiation tactic for sure, right? We're hearing about a lot of people that are importing, a lot of companies that are importing products are putting in these clauses that if tariffs hit, the prices are negotiable. I want you to think about that, because if the products get here, are they really going to ship them back? Because, okay, we don't want them, I'm not going to sign for it. They've actually got to pay for that shipment to go back, or they literally go into the sea. So, what do you think is going to happen? So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out if tariffs actually hit. Remember, we have 30 days of a 30-day reprieve for both Canada and Mexico as they both implement strategies to, do better at the borders. Here's what's funny. They're saying that these things were already in the works. So the whole tariff thing, there was no reason for it. Oh, doesn't that get your goat? Yeah, it does. Because it makes you say, while you've got everybody looking here over at tariffs, is everybody else looking over here at what you have going on at the Treasury? Everybody's still talking about tariffs, but they're not talking about who has access to the Treasury as much as they should. You've got a whole bunch of non-government employees actually all up in the Treasury's payment systems. I don't know about you, but I'm worried about that. I'm seriously worried about that. Coinbase Legal Officer is supposed to testify in front of Congress about choke point 2.0. That's when they were, hurting companies from actually having banking relationships, crypto companies. And that's a very big deal. That's not a small thing. That's a huge thing. Huge thing. But, I'm sitting back and I'm kind of going, nobody's going to go to jail over this. This is all theater. It's all theater, because everything that happened was actually within the law, right? So if it's all theater, why are we wasting our time? Exactly. It's all to make you look over there while stuff over here is actually going on. Pay attention, people. Wake up. Our economy is taking a hit, and those that are in the know are in the know, right? So start paying attention to what's going on. Stop buying stuff. We'll get into that a little bit later. You've also got Coinbase saying, listen, we've got two coins that we're probably going to list, and it's ETH.FI and Bittensor. Yeah. I'm sitting back and I'm looking at it and I'm kind of like, okay, all right. I could see that. Now, both of them popped up a little bit yesterday, give or take 30%, something like that. But then you obviously know that the market took a little bit of a hit. Right? So if the market took a little bit of a hit, those things didn't actually stick. And that's something to contemplate. I mean, Bitcoin's right now, this second, Bitcoin's below $100,000. XRP is at $2.61. I mean, you could see things, taking a hit. So we think about those things. What else do we have going on? We've got Ethereum. The Petra hard fork is supposed to double layer 2 capacity. Vitalik Buterin supports Ethereum's Petra hard fork, which will double layer 2 capacity and increase blob space, with implementation set for March. Yeah, that's going to be a big deal. That's going to be a very big deal. People sleep on Ethereum, and I keep telling them, please don't sleep on Ethereum. Stop comparing Solana to Ethereum. Solana is not Ethereum. It's just not. It's just not. Right? That's not the thing. That's not the thing. That's not going to be the one to bring Ethereum down or knock it down a notch. Maybe XRP. It's not going to be Solana. You can forget that. People just, holding on to dreams and listening to silly things. Solana has a network gremlin. That's why enterprises don't really want to work with it. That's why the kind of applications that you see running on Solana are, not big deal applications. Just saying. Big deal, real deal applications go on other networks like Ethereum. Just pay attention to that. Meme coins, sure, they popped up, made big money off of meme coins. That's a beautiful thing. Meme coins, I think over the past year, have dropped 46%. Just saying. That super cycle, maybe overrated. Maybe. Then we got FET whales are showing mixed signals right now. Why? Well, it's an AI coin, right? And it's the combination of a couple of AI coins. And you sit back and you kind of go, so what are we going to do? AI is not going anywhere. I think right now, I mean, I've got a bag of FET. Right now, what am I doing? I'm sitting back. I'm relaxing. I'm waiting. Rome wasn't built in a day. My neighbors are Sicilian. So, I get a lot of that stuff. So, yeah, Rome wasn't built in a day. So I'm just going to sit back and wait. I'm not getting rid of my FET bag. I might not add to it, but I'm not getting rid of it either. AI is here to stay, and anything touching AI, I told you guys last night, I think AI is going to take off. Automation is going to take off. I think infrastructure is going to take off. Anything that's required for other things to work, connective tissue, those things are going to rise. That's why, I constantly add to Chainlink. You're not going to achieve much without Chainlink. Just saying. Everybody looks at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, how many times I got to explain it? Chainlink is the number one oracle on the planet, right? It's connecting real world data to blockchain and vice versa. It lends itself to a lot of different things. Not to mention how many banks are working with it, how many projects are using it for tokenization. I'm telling you, Chainlink is a very big deal. It's a very, very, very big deal. So I just hold on to it, knowing that it's going to be integration, not just adoption, but integration of the tech that's going to drive crypto. That's what's really going to drive crypto. What else do we have? So Ghana, the Guyanese are actually, is it Guyanese? I don't know. Ghanaians? Let's just say the citizenry of Ghana, right? I'm really disappointed because I had a consulting assignment, and one of the legs of the trip was supposed to be Ghana, but we never made it, and I'm really upset about that. Anyway, the citizens of Ghana have taken to crypto in a major fashion. So people are like, hey, you guys got to come up with government, you got to come up with a policy. You got to come up with some guardrails before it becomes the wild, wild west. Not wrong at all. So I'm just saying, there are things to think about. That's one of the things we should be thinking about. And people wonder why I look around the world for news. I'm not just looking at what's going on in the United States. That's the worst thing I could do. So many things happen around the world economically. And the world is a small, small place. That when something happens over there, it can affect over here, especially when you're talking about crypto. So yeah, Ghana not having, policy right now. When will they have policy? What will that policy be? Will it be coming close to accepting Bitcoin as tender? Like, what will it be? There are a lot of countries out there that are making big moves when it comes to crypto in both directions. And we should be paying attention to that. Why? Because it could affect our bags. It really could. People are scratching their head about, a United States sovereign wealth fund being created within the next 12 months. Maybe it's going to buy some crypto. Maybe it's going to buy some companies. I can't say that I'm against the United States investing. We've bailed out airlines and car companies and the like, just all over the banks. And we didn't get a lot out of it. We did not get a lot out of it, if anything. A sovereign wealth fund would have changed that. A sovereign wealth fund would have said, sure, we'll give you this money, we'll lend you this money, and you're going to pay us back at this rate for this long, and blah, 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 blah. And then we make money off of those deals instead of just giving it away. Now, what's funny is, a lot of the people within the new regime benefited from the previous relationship that the government had with bailing companies out. So I just find it to be funny, right? What else do we have going on? So World Liberty Financial moved about $212 million worth of Ethereum over to Coinbase Prime. And they're like, no, we're not selling. Eric Trump's like, oh, I love, Ethereum, you should buy. What are the reasons that you would move things to Coinbase Prime, if not to sell? What reason? Right? What reason? So I'm kind of like, yeah. And then you're like, oh, you should buy Ethereum. I'm just kind of like, really, dude? Why don't you just stand on the corner and say, I'm selling Ethereum for you? I got some Ethereum. You want some Ethereum? I'm just saying. Like the guy with the watches, all up in the jacket and everything. It sounds a little suspicious, and that's what people are thinking. We won't know until we watch it happen. If anything happens, we'll see. We will see. Arthur Hayes, founder of BitMEX, predicts that Bitcoin will drop down to about $70,000 before spiking up to $250,000. His thought process is, in my head, his thought process is actually pretty sound. There is a chance that that could happen. Let me just think out loud. Bitcoin right now is under $100,000. It was previously as low as 90 the past couple of days. So how far away is 70 from 90? What happens in 30 days if we can't cut, a real deal with China? What happens if something else economically hits the country? The Treasury, makes the wrong decision because Elon Musk and his private team have access to all our records. Yeah, our information is up in there. That's a problem. So there are issues with, the economy that we could actually see this happen. So what happens if food prices continue to skyrocket? One of my friends told me in the Bronx, a dozen eggs is costing $7. Costs $7. What? Eggs? I'm not going to kid you. I remember when eggs were 99 cents. 99 cents. And I was just like, wow. Just all kinds of wow. So you have a lot of things that could happen almost simultaneously that you could actually see a $70,000 number. But then on the other side, you could also see things happening that could drive it up to 250. I bet you there are a lot of wealthy individuals. I bet you there are a lot of institutions that are thinking, yeah, let it go down to 70. Yeah, let it go down to 70. I will be buying hard. They're not flinching. They are not flinching. They're going to buy. And I'll tell you what, I'm not loaded, but I would be buying. Every time I make profit, every time I make money, I add it to my dry powder bag. I add a percentage to my dry powder bag. I take a percentage and I do whatever it is I'm going to do. The other percentage goes straight into the dry powder bag. It's about 20%, 20, 25%. Just drop it in there and leave it there. It's the emergency fund, right? Market takes a dive. Even my bags are bleeding. I don't care. I've got dry powder. I'm going to go buy. When you see blood in the streets, even if it's yours, the saying goes, you should be buying. So that's what I'd be doing. I actually run through different scenarios of what coins I should be ready to snap up in a heartbeat. No thought involved. No thought involved. What coins would you snatch up? Do you have your plan? Do you have a plan? I have one. And I know I don't talk about it a lot. But yeah, I have a plan for if things go south, what am I selling? Right? And then there's the other plan. If things go south, what am I buying? Right? You start to think about that. You start to think about it. I think we're too close to a major price breakthrough for Bitcoin for me to go through it dropping 20% and then me selling. Right? Because I told you guys, if it drops 20%, I'm going to sell. If we get down to 90% again, I might just sell. Like 90,000, I'm sorry, not 90%, 90,000. If it goes down that far, I might sell. Why, you ask? Well, selling, because that's what I'm going to be thinking. What else am I expecting that's going to be bad? I might not sell everything, but I might sell a nice hefty chunk and then wait. Just wait and then see what happens, right? But selling at a point where I'm still profitable, where I'm not like, oh, I lost money. No, I just didn't make as much money. Not a big deal. And then buy from there. And then look, I mean, like yesterday, we broke back through 100,000. China's still a problem. We're back below 100,000. You've got to pay attention to these things. This is why I tell you guys, the GMB3 is a very big deal. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. That means pay attention. Pay attention. Don't just buy a bag and let it sit there. Pay attention to what's going on. Pay attention to what could affect your bag. Just saying, it's a big deal to me. Then we've got a Canadian man who's, got caught stealing $65 million from exploiting two DeFi vulnerabilities. Yeah, Kyber Swap and Index Finance got hit. 65 milli. Wow. That's no joke. That's no joke. Thorchain approved a $200 million debt conversion plan. Thorchain governance approves Proposal 6 to convert defaulted debt into TCY equity tokens and affected users receiving 10% of protocol fees indefinitely. Because it would take a long time for those fees to add up to any amount of money that would make them feel whole. Just saying. That's why. My last point is actually a very big point, and I want you to contemplate this as you go out throughout your day. Are you still buying stuff? Are you still buying stuff? Are you still out there buying your lotions and potions? Facial care, all that kind of stuff. I don't think that's a great idea.
Starting over.
I don't think that's such a good idea. Sorry, I had to tell my machine to do something. And the reason why is because our food supply is having a problem. Grocery store prices are having a problem. The prices are soaring. Soaring. $7 a carton for a dozen eggs? $7 for a dozen eggs. We need to stop and think about how much this is costing us. The new regime came in and finally admitted, well, we're not going to be able to do anything about your food prices. Really? Oh. Sure? So if you're still out there buying stuff and not saving up for food shortage problems, you could be on the wrong path and literally starving yourself, starving your future self. I strongly advise, don't buy stuff. Bank your money. You're probably going to need it for like everyday stuff. Eggs costing, $7 a dozen is real. So when I look at, companies saying you must come back to the office and how much it costs for people to go back to the office, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. In New York, we've got congestion pricing. That's a lot of money. That's a hit against your paycheck. And then they also want you to look nice when you go to the office. It's like dry cleaning bills again. A lot of people aren't going for it. But really, my point is be in a position to be able to feed your families. Stop buying stuff for a little while. Those food prices are going to take a hit, a big hit. For the first time in a long time, I actually, went out and had Chinese food the other night and recognized the bill. Recognized that the bill was higher. Prices had gone up. The stack of menus that's on the counter was brand new bright white. New prices kicked in. Egg Foo Young? Oh, I wish you would. I wish you would. So yeah, this stuff is costing big money. It's costing big money, and you should be paying attention to all those things that are going to hit your wallet, and not necessarily in a good way. So if you're still out there buying stuff, you might want to reconsider. you might want to reconsider, maybe I shouldn't be buying stuff right now. Maybe I should be banking my money just in case the food supply takes another hit. And I mean another hit. There were a slew of chickens that had to be killed because poison, that kind of thing, and that's driving egg prices up right now. And you hope that new chickens are coming on and they'll be able to lay eggs, but how long will it take for them to get old enough to lay eggs to see if we can see those prices abate a bit? I don't know. But you know what we should do? That's right. We should go over the numbers. Let's go do that. So let's start over here with earnings reports. We've got Google, Merck, Alibaba, PepsiCo, Advanced Micro Devices. We have a lot of companies that are coming out with numbers. PayPal, Spotify. So we have a good spectrum of companies that are coming out. Retail. And I'm just sitting back and I'm just kind of going, yeah, that's going to give me a hint. Look at some of these companies that are talking about, oh, we've got huge profits. Who's getting those profits? You? Me? Think about that. There's a tiny percentage of people that are actually buying stocks. So there are only a tiny bit of people that are actually able to afford this stuff. Just saying. Let's see what's going on today. Is Tuesday. We've got job openings, factory orders, a lot of Fed speak. I'm telling you, the days they'll be looking out for are tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. Those are the days. That's when economic numbers are really going to hit. Fear and greed index is at 72. Remember, yesterday it was at 44. You see that? 44. I think it's going to drop again. Unless we get a deal with China, we're not really on that upward swing, in my humble opinion. Total value locked right now is $114 billion. That's a huge, look at that. That's a huge drop over here. That's a huge drop. And like I said, look at Bitcoin. I might as well remove these lines. I might leave them just for reference to see what happens thereafter. But look at this. This is where we were. This is where we are now. Then we shot back up when they said, oh, Mexico and Canada, we came to a deal in 30 days. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we still took a hit because we're still waiting for China. We're going to have to wait for that to actually do well. So yeah, we had a good thing going, and then the unnecessary tariffs hit. I think they were unnecessary. Especially when you're hearing reports that, no, a lot of this stuff was already coming, already in the works. So why'd you need the tariffs? Why'd you have to hit the market like that? Why'd you have to create this opportunity for people that have money? That's what it looks like to me. Right? Just to move our eyes over here so that things over here aren't paid attention to. There are a lot of agencies out there. CFPB got whacked. I'm telling you, it's just that's the CFPB is a Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Just saying, there are a lot of things that happen that people are not talking about right now because everybody's talking about tariffs. Go make a list. Those things are going to affect your wallets. They're going to affect your bags. Look at all these things that are up. Are they really up? Well, Link is up to 20. Oh, that's nice. It was up higher yesterday, right? Doge was down at 23 when in the middle of the night. XRP is down. All these puppies are down. These are down big, hard, but they're up because they dropped again. Like I said, they had dropped again and then they came up a bit. Saying these are still opportunities to buy. Like I'm looking at a lot of these. I'm kind of like, yeah, I know what I'm gonna buy. I know I'm gonna get back in. I know I'm gonna get back in and buy some more. Just say it. Then when you look at the numbers going straight across, year to date, Bitcoin, you're still making money. XRP, you're still making money. Even Solana, you're still making money. Right here, Chainlink, you're making money. Stellar, you're making money. I told you. If you're paying attention to XRP, you should also pay attention to Stellar. People don't believe me, but you really should pay attention to Stellar. Pay attention to both as this goes on. Hedera. I'm probably going to buy some Hedera. It's US based, and I'm expecting them to do well. You're taking if you bought January 1st, if you bought Toncoin, you're taking a hit. It's been down for a really long time. Hasn't really moved, but it's taken a hit. It has taken a big hit. Shiba Inu, again, been down for a long time, taking a hit. Is it going to come back up from this 15? Yeah, I'd probably buy in at that 15. For it to get back to 30 is not a big deal. But if it gets back to 30, you've now practically doubled your money. So I think Shiba Inu is gonna do well for me. I really do. So I'm probably gonna buy some more. But can't go through everything. Looking at the GMB crypto tracker, if I just want to look at the winners and losers, there you go. So who am I paying attention to right here? We've got, and these are the winners. Vthor is up. We just spoke about them today, up 16.65%. Mantra is up 14%. GMBX factor of 0.04. That's basically saying, oh, we're at, it's just been growing. One of our big baggers called Mantra, and look at where it is. Mantra's just been killing it. Akash is up 13%. I don't know anybody that has it, but it's got a GMBX factor of 2.7. I just see it in the news a lot. Pendle is up. One of my friends has that. It's up 13.76%. GMBX factor of 1.54. Who else are we paying attention to? Aerodrome Finance up 13%. GMBX factor of 1.44. I know a few people are into that. I really have no opinion on it other than I don't know why it exists. Ondo is up 12.32% with a GMBX factor of 0.55. Ondo's been doing well. Bittensor is doing well. I'm surprised we don't see ETHFI on this one, but Bittensor is up 11.64%, probably on the back of that whole Coinbase announcement that, hey, we're probably going to list it. It's got a GMBX factor of 1.06. I think it's going to make it for sure, right? And those are the winners. Let's take a look at the losers. Not a lot of losers. Nobody I'm paying attention to, I'll tell you that. Because look at that. Part of the list are winners. So there's nobody on this list I'm paying attention to. Nobody. ROE is basically moving sideways. Toncoin basically moving sideways. Anything under 5%, I'm not really paying attention. Makes no sense. Makes no sense to pay attention. Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, smash the likes. Tell your friends about us. Join the community. Become a community member by going to GrowMyBag.tv/sign-up. Become a bagger or big bagger. You know what big baggers get? They get a monthly video conference call that's only for big baggers, and we compare all kinds of notes, all kinds of tips and tricks, all kinds of cryptos, and we bring these cryptos to the floor and we hammer them. And we see if they come out on top. They come out on top, they get added to the big baggers index. It's kind of a big deal. It's kind of slick stuff. But you only get that index if you are a big bagger. So sign up. All right. This is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Don't forget to watch tonight's live, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.